Hello there, Starcraft 2 fans, and welcome to another broadcast. This is Katu, and we are now into the second set of the best of three series between FG Omni Eulogy. He's spawning here in the top right corner. He's going to be playing these green Protoss pieces, and in the bottom left is going to be Kessler, and he's going to be playing the blue Protoss pieces. So a little Protoss versus Protoss action. And these players, I didn't mention it last game, but Kessler, of course, finished first in Code A for the GamingOttawa Starcraft 2 League, and Omni Eulogy finished third. So Kessler was actually 7-1, and Omni Eulogy was 6-2. So both of these players are playing extremely well throughout the season, and now are duking it out. They've made it through the past 3 rounds of this playoff bracket, and they are now playing in the semifinal. They are trying to get into the finals. The finals, of course, are going to be first place prize of $15 and a second place prize of $5. And look at this. Oh, baby, baby. I'm thinking we've got a little bit of a proxy going on, and it doesn't look like our player Omni Eulogy is actually going to spot this. Now, very important though, Omni Eulogy has gotten his gateway down first. Usually when you see a proxy like this, it comes down a lot sooner, but Kessler going to go for 2 gateways extremely quickly, and if he can get enough zealots out, he is saving up some of that chrono boost. He should be able to do an absolute ton of damage. Now, we do see that the probe is moving out for Omni Eulogy after gateway, so he's not going to spot this for a couple more seconds, and by the time he does spot it, the 2 gateways are going to be about halfway done. Now the big question is, where is he going to go try and find these this hidden gateway, right? Because he doesn't see pylons, he doesn't see gateways. He probably thinks that there's a proxy going down, and this probe here is going to be moving out, and he's just putting down a cybernetics core, and this is so good news for Kessler. Kessler right now needs to get a couple of zealots out as soon as possible. He's got more than enough chrono boost to get a chrono boost going on both of his gateways, and we still see that Omni Eulogy still has no idea what his opponent is up to, but he is trying to chrono boost out his own zealot. Now here come the 2 zealots for Kessler. He should be able to do an absolute ton of damage, and the important thing to note though is that Kessler did have to cut pro production to get these zealots out as he is. So meanwhile, Kessler does have the first zealot out. There's a second gateway on the way for Omni Eulogy, and the zealot going to work on these probes, but oh, beautiful micro there by Omni Eulogy, saving every single one of those probes. He hasn't lost a single probe yet. There are more zealots though coming out for Kessler, but all the probes as well as a zealot are moving out for Omni Eulogy. He's trying to do as much damage as possible. Here comes the second zealot, and some probes are starting to go down now, but at the same time, so are these zealots. And the key thing though for Kessler is that this pylon is on the low ground. It's going to take a very long time for that pylon to come down, but at the same time, we do have the potential for stalkers from Omni Eulogy, and once those stalkers do come out, going to make it a lot more difficult for Kessler to actually deal with that. Now, interestingly enough, Kessler is getting another pylon, and I don't really understand that decision. He definitely wants to be back home making some probes and making some zealots here. So out come the zealots. Are starting to do some damage, but the big problem is that Omni Eulogy does have 3 zealots out, and there's no way for Kessler to actually save up some of these zealots. Right now, he should be running that zealot away. He's got 2 gateways. He's got the chrono boost. He should be able to get out a couple of extra zealots, but if he keeps losing them one by one, he is going to be in a ton of trouble. And beautiful micro there by the Omni Eulogy, saving that zealot with just 1 HP. That probe should go in there and actually snipe the zealot, but instead, Omni Eulogy now going to have 4 zealots. He's taken down 1 gateway, and it looks like Kessler going to fall back home, going to try and get some gateways up, but he is going to be so far behind. Look at the unit counting station. It is 14 probes, but we got 2 gateways up and a cybernetics core for Omni Eulogy, whereas for our player Kessler, he's only going to have 1 pylon up at home, make that 2, and it looks like he's going to try to go for a really strong tech path. So it's going to be up to Omni Eulogy to do a very strong counterattack and not let his opponent do anything sneaky like this. And you know what? I bet Kessler's even going for some kind of DT play. He's going for a forge and a gateway, so he's going to try to get some cannons up to help him defend here in the early game, but the forge isn't going to show up for quite a while, and here go the zealots, the sentry working down that pylon from the high ground. And Kessler hasn't actually put any probes in those assimilators yet, so we'll have to see what his plan is to do with all of that gas. So meanwhile, this last pylon finally going to go down, and now Omni does have 5 Zealots and 1 Sentry versus the no fighting units whatsoever for Kessler. So meanwhile, we do see that it is going to be a Twilight Council going down for Omni Eulogy, so he might be the one who's going to go for DTs. He's only got 17 probes, and he's got 6 of them in these gases. So definitely really high on that gas income compared to his mineral income. We can see that reflected there in the income tab. Meanwhile, though, Omni Eulogy not going to let his opponent get back into this game. Kessler has completely walled off with this photon cannon, but I think that these Zealots and that 1 Sentry might be able to deal with that. Kessler really needs to make a couple of extra cannons, or he is going to be in a world of hurt. He's trying to get a Cybernetics core down himself, adding on 2 gateways instead of cannons, though, and it looks like Omni Eulogy is going to go for it. The cannon already down to half HP, and it looks like Omni Eulogy is going to be able to get in there. Kessler needs to add a cannon there. He needs to add a cannon here as well to complete the wall. But beautiful force field going down by Omni Eulogy, and that is going to not allow the cannon to go down. Kessler going to cancel one of his gateways so that he can get another cannon down, but it just doesn't matter. The Zealots are in, the Sentries in, the cannons cannot go down, and Kessler not even bringing close to enough probes out to fight, and Kessler gonna GG. Omni Eulogy taking this semifinal 2-0, and he is going to be going into the finals versus Solo Turtle. So whoever wins that, it is of course going to be played on Sunday at about 7 p.m. You can definitely check out the live stream that's going to be going up. It's going to be my live stream, K2 Starcraft on Justin.tv. So definitely check that out. Winner's going to be taking that $15 prize, and the loser, a $5 prize, of course, that's being put up by Gaming Ottawa, and this is the Gaming Ottawa Starcraft 2 League. Registration is going on right now. It's free to enter. Go check out our website, gamingottawa.ca/leagues/StarCraft2. Stay tuned for our Code S semifinals. Really good games there. Actually, I haven't watched them, but I assume so because these are some Grand Masters players and some top Masters players. So definitely the talent is there. Let's see if the entertainment value follows.